Hey everybody, it's Bridget. Welcome to Boujee Budget Plans. I want to welcome you all to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to the Boujee Budget family. If you're returning, thank you for coming back to support the channel. On this channel, we're all about creating a life we love through smart budgeting, planning, and working toward financial freedom. I'm on a mission to build a lasting legacy for my family and myself, and I'm going to take you on the ride with me. We will also dive into some planner videos, fountain pen videos, and other things to help us stay organized and on track. In today's video, I'm going to show you my fountain pen collection. If you saw one of my previous videos on the Dallas Pen Show, then you know I have a number of fountain pens. I love writing with them, write with them on a daily basis, just for everyday writing, for journaling, for my planning, my budgeting, whatever I'm doing. And I wanted to share that with you in case any of you are interested. So if you're interested in seeing my fountain pen collection, and maybe you're wondering if you want to start using a fountain pen, then stay tuned and I'm going to go through my collection, including my inks and other things that I have. So I'll see you soon. Hey everybody, welcome back to the video. Thank you so much for sticking around. And as I mentioned in the introduction, I'm going to share with you my fountain pen collection. Let me go ahead and try to zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to share with you my fountain pen collection. You may have saw some of them out in the video. This is my fountain pen case from Cloth and Paper. I just put them in here just so they can be somewhere safe and they're not rolling around everywhere. There is a fountain pen in here, and I just wanted to share with you the pens I use, just in case anyone is wondering, for my planners, for my budget books, for my journaling, which if you're interested in seeing some journaling videos, let me know. I've decided that I want to journal on a regular basis just to express myself, to get things out of my head, things like that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into my fountain pen video. And I'm going to slide this over a little bit. So I am going to show you some of my fountain pen inks, which is actually one of the cool parts as well. And then I'm going to show you my fountain pens. So if you saw my Dallas Pen Show video, you know that I have this fountain pen ink by Ferris Wheel Press. You can see that there. They are a ink, I don't know if you want to say, they make ink, an ink company, and this one is browned and buttered. When I went, oh my goodness, I almost dropped that. But when I went to the Dallas Pen Show, there was a young lady that was standing next to me. We just kind of, sparked a conversation as we were talking about purchasing pens and our little, habit that we have, our addiction to fountain pens. But she had used this one and said that it would be a really great color for the pen I bought. And if you want to see that pen, you'll get to see that pen in a minute. So this is the ink bottle that it comes in, and this is one thing with fountain pens. They have really beautiful ink bottles that they come in, and this is the ink bottle for the browned and buttered. So it's really pretty, and that shimmer you see in there, the ink will actually shimmer when you write with it. So I love it. Now, with that being said, with some fountain pens, they will tell you don't use the shimmer ink because it will clog them. But I do take my fountain pens apart and clean the nibs and the converter cartridges, not cartridges, but the converters and things like that. But this is that Ferris Wheel Press ink. Isn't it a beautiful bottle? I really love it. And I did buy that at the pen show. If you guys use fountain pens, let me know what are your favorite fountain pens. Let's get a conversation started. Do you like fine nib, medium nib, broad? Do you have, a journaler's fountain pen? Have you ever had your fountain pen nibs ground for a particular reason? Things like that. Because there's so much you can do with fountain pens and they're so fun. And I'm not sure of how long this video is going to be, you guys, but I just wanted to share this with you. Thought it might be something you're interested in. So this is one of my other inks. It's Pink Glitter. It's by Diamine. They are another ink company. And this is also a shimmering one. It was one that I got in a sample and really fell in love with. It's another really pretty bottle. So as you can see, it has that pink. And when you turn it, there's the shimmer right there. When you shake it up, it actually mixes it where you get this really beautiful reddish pink color. But this ink is also a really gorgeous ink. And I'll do a dip with my glass pen to show you guys on some paper, this one. But this is Diamine Pink Glitz. So it has kind of a pink reddish gold color to it. But this is it right here, and that's Diamine. Sorry for the lights on it. I'm so sorry about that. But another really pretty bottle of ink. And this one is one that I bought, and I did dip it with my glass ink pen, but I have not used it or inked a pen yet. I'm working on probably buying some other pens. Now this is a basic black ink. It is a Lamy ink. I use this in my everyday fountain pens, and it was just one, I don't remember. Oh, I bought this from a store here in Austin. It was like a stationery store. And I'll try to put the name in the description below, and I apologize because I don't know how to pronounce it, but it has this little tape thing that it's not that great. I've used it before, that when you're inking your pen, you know, you can wipe it off on here. It's really papery. It's not more of like a paper towel consistency or anything. So sorry for that being close up. But this is a Lamy ink that I have, so a regular ink. This is my little container that I got from Dromgool's in Houston with the stickers on it. So it houses some of my ink for my fountain pens, and you can get these at various stationery shops and stuff. And it's a little toolbox, so it's metal. So these are inks, other inks that I have. The ones that I just showed you are too big to fit in here. So if you look, there are some samples in there. Here is the pink glitz that I told you about that I got as a sample. That's how I knew I liked it. And actually, I won't open my other one. I will show you guys this one when I do it with my glass dip pen. And then you have Iris Sagazy, I think is the way that's pronounced. So this one was a sample. These were samples from Goulet pens. When I purchased a pen from them, they sent me the samples. I'm going to move this. That might be why it's doing that. This one is Bilberry. And this is a Goulet pen sample. I'll put their information below in case you guys want to reach out to them as far as purchasing any ink, like if you're a fountain pen user. This one is Great Southern Ocean. This is a Robert Oster ink right here. So that's this one. And these are all just samples that I got for free. This one is Deep Purple. I'm not into the purples, but you know, I'll have to just ink this one and show it to you guys. Now these other ones are ones that I bought, and some of them are ones that I've gotten with a subscription box that I have. Let me move these. I'm trying to be careful. I don't want a top to pop off. This one is another Diamine, and this is Midnight. This is a daily use ink as well. Because of the work I do, everything has to be in blue ink. So this is like a really deep, deep blue. It almost looks black, but then when it dries, it's blue. You can see it. So it's a really good ink as well. This is also a Diamine ink. It's Oxblood. Now this one is more of a red, really, really pretty. And I may not have to dip these because actually I just thought about it. I have my swatch book and I'll show you that. But this is Oxblood. This is Diamine as well. So I have 3 Diamine inks. This one is a Jacques Urban ink, and it is Café de Elise. It's a pretty coffee or cocoa brown color, if you can see that. So this one is really pretty too. I do have it in one of my pens, and I'll show you that pen here shortly. I don't know, you guys, why my camera's being so weird, but there we go. So it's a Jacques Urban ink. This is another Jacques Urban. It's a really pretty color. It's a Coral de Tropics. And with this one, it actually, let me try this. There we go. Okay. And this one is another one that I bought. I bought this at a different stationery store that they have here in Austin. I think it's called Papercraft, but they have these smaller bottles. So that way you're not spending a lot of money on your inks if you're not sure if you're not going to like them. And I do like the fact that they have that way. So those are 2 of the smaller inks that I have. Tell me, you know, if you use fountain pens, what inks you guys prefer. If you have a lot of inks, if you stick with one ink, if you like shimmer inks, let's start a conversation below because I'm really a fan of the shimmer inks already. And I find that I like writing with them like in my journal or certain different books or notebooks. I don't write with it like in my planners and stuff like that. So this next ink is from Cloth and Paper, and this one is olive. I'm positive this is an olive ink because they sent us a fountain pen, which you'll see here shortly, but I believe this is olive. And then we got a second fountain pen in a subscription box, which I will show you. And these are some of my everyday ones I'm going to be showing you from the subscription boxes. But we got second pens and we got like 6 different inks. So this one is Bordeaux. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's Bordeaux. So this Bordeaux ink is a really nice one as well. It's a pretty red. And then we did get olive, so that's another olive. So I have 2 of these because the first pen we got was olive, and you know, it basically was the same ink as the one I showed you. This is espresso. This is a brown ink right here, so that's espresso. And you can't really see it because the bottles are so dark, so that's why I'm not showing them to you, like shaking them up in the bottle like I did the ones that I bought, because you're not going to be able to see it. This one is indigo right here, so that's indigo. This one is avant-garde, which is going to be a black basically right there. And then this one is going to be rouge. So this one is gonna be red, but more I think of a red like you think of a fire engine red or something like that. So those are my inks, you guys. I am still learning some about the different inks and things like that with the fountain pens and finding out which ones I like. They can get expensive, so be aware of that, but I still enjoy it because I love writing and I want to have different inks that I know that I like to write with. So now let's get to the fountain pens. As I said, this is a fountain pen case from Cloth and Paper. And this case I purchased because I knew that my fountain pens, you know, I was starting to get to have a lot of fountain pens. So I'm going to start with my everyday fountain pens, the really inexpensive ones. So this one is a Jinhao fountain pen. You can barely see it right there. It's engraved in there. But this is a Jinhao fountain pen. It came from Cloth and Paper in one of their subscription boxes. And you just pull the cap off. So it's not a screw cap. So what that means is it may dry out a little quicker than other fountain pens as far as the nib, so you may have to do certain things to get the ink flowing again, but you just pull the cap off. And this is an extra fine nib. You have extra fine, fine, medium, broad, journaler's nib. You have all these different nibs, which if you're interested in seeing a fountain pen 101 video, let me know. But it's very light. It's not a weighted fountain pen, which I do like a little bit of weight. So it's super light, but it's not one that I would like, you know, faint over if I lost it. It's not that serious, but it is still a fountain pen, a fairly nice one, and I like it. With fountain pens, if you don't know, just real quick, you can screw the top off to fill them with ink. So, which it looks like this one needs to be filled, and your ink can dry out in them. But this is the one from Cloth and Paper. It is a Jinhao fountain pen, and that is a brand of fountain pen that you can find on Amazon, so, and other places as well. But this is my silver fountain pen right here. Then I have a wood and brass fountain pen that also came from Cloth and Paper, another inexpensive one. But needless to say, it's a nice fountain pen. And if you subscribe to this subscription box, you know that you have the opportunity or did get this fountain pen. But as you can see, here's the nib on it. And with your fountain pens, you can normally figure out the size of the pen nib just by looking right there. So this one has olive ink in it, and it has the brass cap right here. And they call it posting. This is not one you can post when you put it on there. And let me see if I can tell what this one is. I want to say, see, it doesn't say if this is a, oh, this is a medium, I think. It might be. I'm not sure. I don't remember if this was a fine or a medium. I'm thinking maybe it was fine. So, but this one screws on, so it may be less likely to dry out, which if I'm correct, this one does not dry out very quickly. I could not write with it for quite a while, and then it'll, just be fine. I can go back and just start writing. I don't have to do anything to get it going. So that is that one. One of my other less expensive pens is another Jinhao. So it is kind of a dupe of the actual Vanishing Point pen by Pilot. I want to say I paid less than 20 bucks for this, y'all, but if you look, it's a click like a ballpoint, but it is a fountain pen and it writes really well. I put the Lamy black ink in here, and the way you refill it is the same way you do the others. You just twist this off, you refill the converter, and then that's it. And so this is my Jinhao dupe of the Pilot Vanishing Point, which I think I'm going to buy myself one for Black Friday with cloth and paper. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm thinking about that because there is also a Schaefer pen that I want that is gorgeous and writes so well. So, but that is that one. I'm going to show you real quick the glass dip ink, the glass dip pen. This one is a glass dip pen. Basically what you do is dip the tip of it in the ink, and that way you don't have to ink up your pens and you just write with it to maybe get an ink sample or ink swatch. So I purchased this also from the stationery store, which I never took this off, but I purchased it from the stationery store here in Austin because I wanted to have something in those instances when I didn't want to ink my pens because I don't ink them all right away. So the next two I'm going to show you are going to be Kaweco fountain pens, and it is pronounced Kaweco. It's German. It's Kaweco, so the W is a V, just so people know, because some people say Kaweco or whatever. It's actually Kaweco, and I learned that when I went to Germany. But this is also an everyday fountain pen as well as this one. I got these from Cloth and Paper, but you can find them everywhere. This clip is removable, so they're kind of decorative, kind of to give your pen a little bling or whatever. But this one, and I apologize, I don't remember what this one was called, but they have like a silver, they have a brass one, and this one has weight to it. That's why I like it. So you just screw the cap off. Okay, and you can post this one if you like. This one is going to be an extra fine because I just looked on the tip of it. I never know because I do have different nib sizes. So this one is really nice and I love it. It's really gorgeous and it stands out, so I know it's mine, so people can't pick it up saying, oh, that looks like mine. And plus, I don't let everybody sign with my pen. So what is your favorite nib size? Tell me that if you use fountain pens. Like I said, I found I can use extra fine, I can use fine because I use them for different things. I can use a broad, a medium, whatever. But this is my Kaweco Sport, and you just screw that back on, and if you look here, it has it like engraved right there. And this is my silver one. And then this one is also, I apologize, that's coming off of my screensaver on my phone. I don't know why, but this is also a Kaweco Sport. This is more of a, I don't know if you want to call it plastic, but I put the little gold clip on it, and again, it just unscrews. And this one also stands out, but it's a really pretty red. And I've been using this one for a while. You can see my blue ink on it. It too is extra fine. So I normally use these for work because that's why it has the blue ink in it. And I do also have converters for these, but they're very small for the Kawecos. But again, this is the Kaweco Sport and the red. And let me show you the converters real quick for Kaweco. All of any fountain pen, they may or may not use different size converters. So it depends. So some of them may be proprietary. In other words, you may have to stick with that brand converter. So I got these also from the shop here in Austin. So if you look, these are converters for Kaweco pens. And I want to say I paid like $4. I don't know. It was super inexpensive, but basically they work like the other converters I showed you. You just and let me get that out of my hand first. So what you do is just screw this and it comes up like a little plunger and you push it down. So this one you definitely get your hands all inky, but I do have converters for the Kavekos and I keep those right here in this bag on my desk. Now, the other pens that I'm about to show you are more expensive pens, but not 100% expensive. So these right here, the Kavekos, were maybe like $30, I think, each. So that's why I always say, you know, I'm not going to freak out if I lose them. Yeah, I know it's $30, but still, I'm not going to freak out, but I'm not going to lose them. I have lost a ballpoint Kaveco, and I'm not going to say it's lost. I just don't know where it is. So the next pen I'm going to show you is my Lamy. This is a German pen, but I love this pen. The way you hold it, the top just pulls off. It does not screw off. Right here is where you hold it, and it has these little areas that are indented here, so you know where to hold it. It's a really comfortable feel to write with, but a very light pen. But I do also like that it's what we would call a demonstrator pen. You can see inside of it. So this one has a converter also that you just screw the top of it. So it's the same as the others for the converter when you're filling. And I love this pen. I also put the black Lamy ink in here when I write, but I love this pen because it's so comfortable to write with. And that's the good thing with fountain pens. With regular pens, you tend to put a lot of pressure and we don't realize it until we're not using a fountain pen, but that's what makes fountain pens so good, is that you can write with them for long periods of time. So this next one is going to be a TWSBI. And let me tell you, you have German, and then you have like Japanese fountain pens. Japanese fountain pens are normally, they write pretty thin, and you can tell they write really fine. Whereas like German fountain pens, they're not as fine. And I'll show you when I write with them. But this one is a TWSBI. And this one is also a demonstrator pen. You can see the ink that I have in there. And actually, I think this is the oxblood ink in here. And basically you twist the cap. This one will write no matter what, no matter how long it's been since I've written with it. And I think it's because they have in the cap here, which I'm seeing drops of ink in there, but they have in the cap that it screws on so it keeps the ink, you know, in there and not drying out. But if you look, it says TWSBI right here. This is, you have to be careful because this is where you twist to get the ink in. And this one is a broad nib. Yeah, this one is a broad nib that I got. Now, when you get TWSBIs, and this is a TWSBI Eco, this is what it comes in, and you have this little case or box that when you open it, you get in here tools, which is why I like it too. You get this little wrench that helps you to take, if you look right here, the little cap off, so that you can use the silicone grease to make sure that that moves freely when you're turning and adding ink. And it gives you the little instructions in here as well, how to clean it and everything. And yes, ever so often I do clean my fountain pens, especially if I'm using some of the shimmery ink. So this is the box that the TWSBI Eco comes in. This is the box that my Kaveco came in, and this is the silver Kaveco that came in here. You can take it apart and sit it in there. And I always keep this little case. So that is my TWSBI right here. Okay. I think the next one I'm going to show you is going to be my Coffee Monsters Co. pen. If you've never heard of Coffee Monsters Co., there's a young lady named Helen that runs this company out of Canada. They do stickers and different items for planning, journaling, Hobonichi journals, all the things. And she came out with a fountain pen, and she collaborated with Esterbrook. Esterbrook is a fountain pen company. It came in this cute little box. And this pen, I want to say, was about $200 and I think it was $200. But this is the pen, and in the box, I'm going to sit it right here. You get this little pillow. You get an actual ink cartridge. I don't use these. I probably won't let it go to waste, but I don't use them. This was from the Goulet Pen Company. You get this little sticker in there. And then you can register your pen with Esterbrook, which you don't have to, but you can. And then they did have some Coffee Monster Co. stickers in here, but I took them out. But the bottom of the box is what I want to show you. It's so cute right there. And it's just a gorgeous little box with everything on the side, scratch, showing you how the fountain pen writes. So that's the box that this pen in particular comes in. A lot of them have different boxes, but I love this pen. Let me move these out of the way. Here's the pen right here. This is the Coffee Monsters Co. and Esterbrook collaboration. It's a beautiful cream colored pen with the gold pen clip right there. It says Esterbrook right here, and you might not be able to see it. I'm trying to get it to focus. But this pen also is a screw cap pen to make sure that it doesn't dry out. And the neatest part is that right here they have marbling on the pen, so it gets even prettier right there. And then you have in the face of the pen, let me see if I can get it to focus. You might not be able to see it, but with Esterbrook, with this one right here, they have the little Coffee Monsters Co. character in there in the face of the pen, which is so cute. And I'm sorry I can't get it to focus. It's probably just because it's so, there we go. So you can see right there, there's the little happy face in there, and you get this really pretty marbling, and it differs on each pen. But I love this pen. I've written with it. I love the way it writes, and it has just a little bit of weight to it, not a lot. But this is one of my favorite pens right here. And I want to say I got this one for my birthday, but this is the Coffee Monsters Co. pen right there. And I keep it in here just so it's not rolling around everywhere in the little box. And plus the box is really, really cute. The last of my fountain pens is going to be the Esterbrook SD. I got this at the Dallas Pen Show, so if you saw that video, you may or may not have seen it. But this is the Esterbrook SD Honeycomb fountain pen. It is a really gorgeous fountain pen with the gold pen clip right here. And right here it says Esterbrook, telling you the brand right there. And this is another screw cap pen. And again, this keeps them from drying out. So this one, you can see the Esterbrook logo right there, and it has gold trim right around here, and it's just this really pretty honeycomb design. And then you can also unscrew it like any other fountain pen to get to the converter and then fill it with ink. Either way, either from the nib, or you can do it with the converter using a syringe. So this pen was beautiful. When I went to the Dallas Pen Show, it just kept calling me and I bought it. So again, this is also one of my favorite pens. I have not inked it yet, but it's a really, really gorgeous pen. So that is it for my pen collection. What I will do is, I think I'm going to just speed up the video and I'm going to show you how each pen writes really quickly because the video is kind of getting long, but I'm going to show you how they write, and that way you'll get to see the ink. So there won't be any of me talking. It's just going to speed up. I'll show you the pens, and I guess I'll put the name like over here or in one of the corners somewhere. I'll put the name of the pen. Okay, you guys, so that is where I am going to end the video. I do apologize. The Jinhao dupe of the actual vanishing point pen is not writing because it is one of those where I told you, like, they will dry out, and I wasn't able to get it writing right away. I will do another video. If you guys are interested, let me know below if you want to see some fountain pen 101 videos, and I can ink some of the ink that one, make sure it works, ink my new one, which I have not done yet, and show you that. And I'd be happy to go through that fountain pen 101, show you the different parts of the fountain pens. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I am trying to grow my channel so that I can get to 500. I'm sorry, did I say 500? I think it's 500 subscribers so I can get monetized. And maybe 1,000, but to get monetized. And I hope this video helped you to make any decision you might be making on whether or not you want to start using fountain pens. I love them. They're fun to write with. They're neat. And I can write with different sizes to get, you know, different results depending on what I'm writing and where I'm writing. So again, thanks for stopping by, watching the video, and supporting the channel. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like, and then I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.